and welcome to the August 2023 edition of Florida by the Numbers. I'm Sheridan Meek, Senior Research Economist at the Florida Chamber Foundation, and I will be giving an update on the latest metrics that matter to securing Florida's future. Taking a high-level look at Florida's economy, there have been many changes over the last month. Current labor market statistics were released, as well as updates on the housing market and Floridians' consumer sentiment. These metrics and more are tracked on the floridascorecard.org. Now let's give some context to what is happening in Florida's economy. Looking first at Florida's labor market, employment continues to approach 9.8 million, with 9.771 million jobs in July 2023. This is an increase of nearly 45,000 from last month and over 300,000 annually. Florida has seen year-over-year gain every month since April of 2021. However, after recovering to pre-pandemic employment levels in October of 2021, that job growth has been slowing. This is not unique to Florida, as it reflects the same trend at the national level. Even with this mutual slowing of the pace of job growth, Florida's rolling annual job growth rate has been well above the national level. This past month, Florida's annual growth rate of 3.2% was 1 percentage point higher than the U.S. Florida's growth rate also ranks highly among the country, with a higher growth rate than both California and New York, states with comparable economy size. Zooming in on this 3.2% annual job growth, most of the major industries saw increases. The information industry, which has been fluctuating between growth and decline in recent months, saw a slight decline. Education and health services, led by healthcare, saw the highest raw and percentage gain, continuing to surpass leisure and hospitality, which held the top spot for many months. July's month-over-month job gain was 44,500, an increase of 0.5%. This growth rate was 5 times the growth at the national level. 7 of the 8 major industries saw job gains, with education and health services seeing the highest raw and percentage gain. We'll continue to keep an eye on these monthly numbers, especially in the context of a potential national recession in late 2023 or early 2024. Shifting our focus to unemployment. The number of unemployed Floridians increased by 5,000 from June to July. The unemployment rate also rose by 0.1% to 2.7%, the first increase this metric has seen this year. However, this increase in unemployment was coupled with a rise in open jobs, widening Florida's gap between available workers and open jobs. Currently, for every 100 jobs needing workers, only 63 Floridians are looking for work. Our team has analyzed the open jobs data for the 10 most populous states in the U.S. and have seen that this challenge is not unique to Florida. Other states, such as Georgia, are also experiencing a labor shortage, although a less severe one, as Georgia currently has 75 unemployed for every 100 open jobs. Texas, a state with comparable population and economy, remains in the middle, with 95 unemployed people per 100 open jobs. And lastly, New York sees a different labor market challenge, with more unemployed people than open jobs, 128 unemployed for every 100 open jobs. Now looking to Floridians' consumer sentiment. Floridians' outlook on the economy, as measured by consumer sentiment, saw a decline of 2.1 from June to July. Floridians' pessimism differs from the national level, where consumer sentiment jumped up over 7 points in the same time period. Despite Florida's historically low figures for the past year, this is the first month where consumer sentiment actually dipped below the national level. The Consumer Sentiment Index shows that Floridians' pessimism is the strongest concerning current household economic conditions, as well as future state and national economic conditions. Single-family housing sales declined in July, reflecting a cooling housing market. The 12-month rolling average has seen a downward trend since mid to late 2021, continuing with July's figure of just over 22,000 home sales. Despite this decline in demand, the prices have remained consistent in recent months. This month's median sale price was $415,000, which is 0.7% higher than July of last year. and up over 50% from early 2020. This decline in sales, coupled with consistently high prices, is likely due to prevailing high mortgage rates as consumers await a decrease in interest rates. New data shows that the number of Floridians employed by foreign companies rose in 2021. This statistic, that measures the number of Floridians working for a majority-owned U.S. affiliate of a foreign company, rose 4.7% over the year and is trending towards higher pre-pandemic levels. Currently, foreign-owned companies hire 4.1% of Florida's private industry workforce. Finally, a recently released statistic gives us insight into how Florida is traveling. This increase, beyond the previous 2019 peak, could be a reflection of increased travel as we continue to move forward from the pandemic or a rapidly increasing population in Florida. Likely influenced by these and many other factors, the statistic reflects the importance of Florida's infrastructure in supporting a growing population and economy. The FloridaScorecard.org is updated regularly and continues to track the metrics discussed today, in addition to hundreds of other state and county metrics. The Florida Scorecard and our team's accompanying research and analysis on these metrics are made possible by the leadership of the Florida Chamber Foundation's community development partners. To stay up to date on the metrics that matter to securing the future of Florida as soon as they are released, there are a couple of ways you can stay connected. Follow @FloridaBTN on Twitter, where updated figures and accompanying analysis are tweeted instantly. Also, be sure to check the FloridaScorecard.org regularly. Updated metrics are added as soon as available to help Florida's leaders lead. If you have any questions regarding the topics covered today or the work of the Florida Chamber Foundation, please reach out to me or any member of the Foundation team through the information on the screen. From everyone at the Florida Chamber, thanks for tuning in for another update on the metrics that matter for Florida's becoming a top 10 global economy by 2030. Join us again in September for another edition of Florida by the Numbers.